Shalom, shalom. The title of this lesson is that bug out spirit been here since the beginning of time. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Lord willing that they all can continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Aquad, believers of His faith and His truth. Lord willing that you continue to pursue in your life, being a loving and sound and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shema Shai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. So again, that bug out spirit been here since the beginning of time. From the first creation of man, there has always been rebellious, unstable, and wicked spirits among the people. A bug out spirit, this spirit is when, a person falls away from wisdom, becomes confused, rebellious, or proud against Yahweh and His order. It appeared in Cain, Korah, Saul, and even among Yahushai's disciple when Judas betrayed him. So Lord willing, it's edifying and straight to the point. And, we can add into our prayer that Yahweh Shema Shai don't put a bug out spirit within us. So let's get into it. Genesis chapter 4, verse 5 to 8. It says, "But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was wroth," which is angry, "and his countenance fell. And Yahweh Shema Shai said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, thou shalt not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And Yahweh Shema Shai said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? When you go into that Hebrew word, brother's keeper, it goes into guardian. He's supposed to be guarding his brother, right? So Cain bugged out when his sacrifice wasn't accepted. Instead of humbling himself, envy and wrath took over him. That was the spirit of rebellion, leading to murder. Murder is what she wrote. Let's get 1 John, the 3rd chapter, in verse 12. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother, and wherefore slew he him, because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. Right now, I can understand, us on this side, you'll look at that as envy. Right? He was envy, evil envy, and he was covetous. Right? So not as Cain, who was of the wicked one, and he slew his brother. Right? Because the wicked one is symbolic to Esau. Malachi 1:4. He's the border of wickedness. Then what happened to Cain? He had got a mark on him where he looked at like a leopard, or not a leopard, but a leaper, right? He lost that beautiful melanin pigment, right? I believe the Lord can do it. Do you? This is Numbers chapter 16, verse 1 to 3. It says, Now Korah, the son of Azar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, and son of Elbib, Salakiyah, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and Yahweh Shemashai is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of Yahweh Shemashai. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spoke unto Karai and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow Yahweh Shemashai will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he have chosen will he cause to come near unto him. This do, take your censers, Karai and all his company, and put fire therein, and place incense in them for Yahweh Shemashai tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom Yahweh Shemashai doeth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Karai, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the Most High of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of Yahweh Shemashai, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. Right? That was plain. Right? So Korah bugged out against the leadership Yahweh established. He thought he was equal to Moses and Aaron. A spirit of pride and confusion. The same with Miriam. Right? Yahweh opened the earth to swallow him alive. Let's drop down. Let's just prove that with the scriptures. Verse 32. Let me see if it says his name. Okay, we'll start at verse 27. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came up and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. And Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that Yahweh Shemashai have sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If this man die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yahweh Shemashai have not sent me. But if Yahweh Shemashai make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up, with all that pertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, right, which is land, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked Yahweh Shemashai. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up in their houses, and all the men that pertained unto Korah and all their goods. Now that made me think, because I was watching Passion of Christ. Of course, you know, Esau whitewashed the mess out of this truth. And after, you know, it was finished or accomplished, while he was still on the cross, the whole earth shook. The earth opened up. Even the dead came alive, walking around, right? Now, in the movie, I seen one of the priests just break down. He didn't say nothing, he just broke down. But this is what happened, right? They was bumping against Moses. The Lord swallowed them up by the earth, right? So Yahweh opened up the earth to swallow them alive, right? Let's go Sirach Ecclesiasticus, the 10th chapter, verse 12 and 13. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that have it shall pour out abomination. And therefore Yahweh Shemashai brought upon them strange calamities, and overthrew them utterly. Right? Man, I ain't gonna lie. It's scary to be in the hands of Yahweh Shemashai. Salaki, I don't think that was the one we want. Let me make... Okay, let me read Let me read verse 12. Let me read that again. Salaki family. I guess I'm getting too excited. This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from the Most High. Right? What is that heart? Your mind. Cain, his mind, his heart was turned from Yahweh, and he slew his brother. Judas Iscariot, if y'all watched the other lesson, Judas Iscariot, he wasn't connected to Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai inwardly. His heart wasn't truly circumcised. He was outwardly following the Lord because he was set up for that purpose, right? For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that have it shall pour out abomination. So if you prideful, what is that? That's that bug out fucking spirit. And therefore Yahweh Shai brought upon them strange calamity and overthrew them utterly. How much more what's going to happen to those on this side, man? Right? It's scary to be in the hands of the Lord. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel. And let's go to 16, verse 14. Salaki. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 14. Let me start. Yeah, let's just go to the point. Let's start at 13. Because simultaneously, right, it's something happening. So verse 13, then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. But the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai troubled him. Now, just want to say a side point. Now, you can become a bug out spirit, and the Lord put that spirit that you had that was of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai into somebody else. Or what if the Lord take the spirit from somebody else and put it in you? This is a great honor. This is something to be grateful for. This is something to be giving him thanks and begging him, don't remove it. Please don't take it. I need this. Please, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. You don't want to be a bug out, right? Because then Saul started to get worse because he had an evil spirit in him, right? So Saul once had the spirit, but fell away through disobedience, right? When the Lord told him to kill all the Amalekites, he didn't do it, right? And didn't put order to the soldiers that took cattle or some dang sheep when he told them everything, right? So when he stopped obeying Yahweh, a bugged out spirit replaced the Rakak Wadash, paranoia, jealousy, and madness. Jake, when Jake be paranoid, that's a damn demon. Jealousy, hey, you women, if you jealous, right, and I'm just being straightforward. If you jealous over another woman, that's not the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You got to work on that. Yes, I know we in captivity. You know we in captivity. But that still don't mean you should have a jealous spirit in you, right? Because if Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai working with you or working with him or working with him, working with her, right, we're supposed to be moving way different. Especially a man of the Lord is supposed to be alert. A man of the Lord should be knowing how to make decisions. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is going to be moving that man, let alone if he's a teacher, right, the Lord is going to be bringing people around. What Yarmayan just said the other day, we could have an agent near us. That's why we got to try brothers before we credit them, before we prove them, because somebody can be dealing with a bug out spirit. And what it say? It says Satan or the devil can come, he could come like the presence of light, you know? So paranoia, jealousy, madness. We understand in Deuteronomy 28:28. Let me see if that's it. I could be incorrect. Deuteronomy 28, verse 28. It says, Yahweh Shemashai shall smite thee with madness, blindness, and astonishment of heart. Right? We're going to be a bug out. Before I came in this thing, I'm not going to lie. I was a bug out, man. Right? I wouldn't eat until I smoked a blunt. Man, I'm traveling far distance just to go get some weed. I'm traveling far as hell in the blizzard or in the snow just to go chill with some girl and she most likely on her flower. Bugged out, man. But if I had this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, it wouldn't have been around no woman when she was on her end of a sentence, unless it caused it happened, right? Let alone us being drug dealers, women sliding down the damn pole. That's all a bug out spirit. And that's somebody that's ignorant to unbelief, right? Because if we truly believe, we wouldn't be doing the things that we do on this side. We wouldn't think how we think, right? Because this flesh is weak. A lot of us is not trying to overcome it. Some of us try to overcome the flesh with just words, right? When you read this word and you believe in this word, you try to apply, you try and do by applying it within your life. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 33. The fear of Yahweh Shemal Shai is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility, right? So when Saul lost humility, he lost the spirit, right? You have to be humble in this thing, You have to be humble in this thing. Look, I'm just saying, the sidebar, I'm trying to make this as edifying as I can, right? Say if, like, I can look at, use just Deacon or any other brother that's they call themselves in this faith, and even myself. You say if you get a wife, and then say if you have another wife. Through the spirit, both of them women should be humble, right? Because guess what? You're not the only one getting loved. You're not the only one putting a smile on his face, right? And you're not the only one he's looking forward to see. You understand that? And women should be humble. It's women in the world that's a side piece, and they ready to fight the main one, or let's come together and they go in wickedness. But really, that should really humble you women, right? But I'm just using that as an example. Humble in all aspects. Coming in this faith, we should be humble, right? If my brother Yarmayan is the head, I need to be humble. I shouldn't try to have an evil spirit like, man, let me be the head. Let me come up with an agenda. No, be humble. Be humble in your position. Be humble in your lot. Be humble that you even serving Yahweh Shemal Shai. Because he could take it away, you doing some slick shit on this side, man. Right? Again, Lord willing, everything that is being said is edifying. Right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun, because what? History merely repeats itself. Right? It repeats itself. So if you're not working on to be humble and be sincere, you're going to have a bugged out spirit. If a woman or a man is bipolar, you have a bug out spirit in you. That's why you got to rebuke that shit. The Lord didn't create you to be bipolar. That's just another add-on curse. And if especially a woman, you hold on to spirits, right? Because when a man, Salaki, when you performing the duty, right? Somewhat of that man's DNA get imprinted in your brain, right? And usually if a woman have a trail like that one nasty ass wicked girl that says she ain't gonna stop making freak videos until her Karuchi make $1 million, all them people she laying with, let alone if they going raw in there, guess what? She's imprinting information of that man, right? And a lot of women that's becoming like that, because mostly a lot of women that got a bag or that's doing something on the side, they got a spirit in them. A lot of them have bug out spirits, right? Because women's supposed to be shamefaced. So even when we talk about men, you got women, and then you even got children bugged out, man. Either they on drugs, or we have children that's lazy, right? You might have a daughter that's 17, and all she know how to scroll on her phone, sit down, and look pretty. She don't know how to cook nothing, right? And look at some of these women now, where these young girls want a boyfriend and they don't even know how to cook, right? Because if a man was really laying with them, right, in the ancient world, that woman would have to be able to cook something. How can you have a child and you don't know how to cook? It's women out here that don't know how to cook but got a child, right? It's bug out spirits in all sex, men, women, right? Children, daughter, son, right? So the same bug out spirits we see today, pride, rebellion, jealousy, betrayal, are the same ancient spirits recycled throughout time, right? Just recycled over and over and over again. Let's go to St. John, chapter 6, verse 70 to 71. It says, Yahushua answered them, have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil? It's through the Spirit. We're back at this one again. And he spake of Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon, for he it was that should betray him, being one of the 12. Right? He was set up to be that damn perdition. Right? He was set up to betray Yahushua. Even among the chosen disciples, the bug out spirit creeped in unaware. Because when you even know the account, when he was saying, wherever I dip, his bread into wine or gravy, guess what? The same one that digs it in with me, he's going to betray me. They couldn't even get it. They couldn't even get it until it was fulfilled when Judas walked up with the guards, right? And they took Yahushua. So that's another thing, like scripture says. You have to be aware because spirits creep in unaware. So Judas was greedy. He was double-minded, right? You got to think, woe is them that is double-minded, let alone somebody that got their foot in, foot out. Judas was serving Yahushua. He was in the ministry. He cast out spirits, but he was really outwardly out this thing. Deceitful, showing that no title or position prevents corruption if your spirit isn't right. Peter was the rock. He denied Yahushua 3 times. Peter was the rock. He had to get a vision 3 times because he couldn't understand it. Peter had to get rebuked by Paul, right? So even if you got a higher seat, like the elder said, the elder apostles in Great Millstone, if you want the lead position, can you handle the burden of them demons, right? You're gonna have top level demons, right? If you got people underneath you trying to take your role, or trying to say, oh, in 40 days from now, this apostle going be in the spirit world. That's a uptime spirit, man, saying it about you. But guess what? On the left-hand side, every one of the elect men and women and child, you have somebody that is subscribed to make you fall, right, at any given moment. Let's get James 1:8. Again, Lord willing, this is making sense. All you got to do is just go look up the same precepts, reread it for yourself, dissect it, KJV, NLT, GNT, right? Get edified, right? And if we can agree, let's walk together. But if you can't agree, man, slide to the left like Beyonce. This is James 1:8. A double-minded man is unstable in his ways, right? He's unstable. That's why Judas, he hung himself. Unstable. Saul, this man trying to kill David, this and this and that. Unstable. That's why I said, any man or woman that got a bipolar issue, you're unstable. You should really be calling the Lord, right? If you keep dealing with the same problems, like something that could jeopardize your marriage, something that can jeopardize your health, something that can jeopardize your friendship or the brotherhood or the sisterhood in this truth, right? You're unstable. Like, is you really calling the Lord? Is you really trying to make a change? Right? Every day I got to tell myself, am I trying to apply what I'm reading? Right? When I get done doing a lesson, right before I do a lesson, am I motivated? Like, I be tired sometimes doing these lessons after work, but it's like the feeling that I get when I'm doing it. But even though I get charged up doing a lesson, I did the lesson, but now when I'm done, am I reminiscing on it? Am I going to apply it? Am I more afraid? I don't want to be double-minded. I don't want a bug-out spirit. I don't want to be a 2/3. I don't want to be in this truth and then I'm faking the funk and then I get the judgment first. I don't want that. F that, man. So even when I'm doing these videos and you getting and it's for the elect, for those that believe, those that come, and even those that don't want to hear this word, right? It could be a rebuke unto you. Guess what? It's even for me. It's either a correction. It's either to build me up. Sometimes I might even be talking about myself, something that I see. And I'm probably already working on it, but sometimes you got to shake the boots out of the flesh, right? So, A double-minded man is unstable in his ways. We don't want to be double-minded. Matthew 6:24. Choose this day who you gonna serve, the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai, or you gonna serve Mammon. And of today, money is the top god on this side. Outside of Yahweh Shema Shai, people cleave more to money than they do that white Jesus, man. Yo, the left-hand side knows your weakness, man. Do you? This is Acts the 5th chapter, verse 1. It says, but a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession and kept back part of the price. His wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. But Peter said, Ananias, why have Satan filled thy heart to lie to the Rakakwadash and to keep back part of the price of the land? Now his wife was privy to it. She noticed, she witnessed, she was all into it. While it remained, was it not thy own? And after it was sold, was it not in thy own power? Why hast thou conceived this thing in thy heart? Thou hast not lied unto men, but unto the Most High. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost. And great fear came on all them that heard these things. We should grow fear into this. This is why we shouldn't be lying to the spirit. Hey, you women, right? If you got a man of the Lord, something in your past that you holding back, something that could deteriorate or that's gonna come out, something you dealing with. If your man said something, right? Anything, or even a brotherhood, like what we do for atonement of Passover. Somebody did you wrong, they did something, right? And say if you did, right, you should be saying sorry. You should be confessing, hey, yo, look, I'm sorry I did this, because you never know if that thought could have been on that person's head, right? What if your connection was messed up because of that, right? Hey, even if it's a sister that's in this thing, a grudge that you have on another sister, and say she is of the elect. I did this thinking about my daughter, man, right? Not too harsh, but I started thinking a certain way because of something. But it wasn't nothing bad. But while I'm at work, I'm hearing the word, but then as soon as I paused and I started thinking of what I was thinking, and I'm trying to play the word, a video, a lesson on my phone, on neither one of my phones, it would work. I had to stop doing what I'm doing. I had to go pray to the Lord, rebuke my own self and my thought, because my daughter could be of that number. I got to have that type of hope. What if she is? I'm striving that she can be. Man, after I talk to the Lord, I come back to my phone, it start working, man. I started getting mad, like something about my phone. I'm asking my brother, your phone work? Yeah, my phone work. You know? So even you sisters that might be holding a grudge on somebody, you could really be doing that, and you could be holding a grudge on a spirit, right? Because that sister could be having a spirit in her, right? A child can have a spirit in them, man. And I really mean this. It doesn't matter what somebody did. We supposed to be given a chance for somebody to change. If they're showing that they're not changing, right, truly what scriptures, you're supposed to bring the counsel to the Lord and like, hey, yo, look, we got to tighten up, right? But instead of us, hey, bro, da-da-da-da, hey, sis, da-da-da-da-da, you know, because then they going to share the same energy that you sharing, right? But if you don't see that type of decline, that they're not growing, right, then you would be committing a sin towards the Rakakwadash, going off on a sister or a brother that's in this faith. We reading it now, man. Hiding back their money, right? I'm looking at it in all aspects. So I don't want to lie to my brothers. Yeah, hey, brother, where you at? Oh, man, I was just sleeping, and I'm probably just laying in the bed, because a brother might want to get up, right? I might say that lie, but guess what? Now that it's out, I got to be better with, hey, nah, bro. Straightforward, nah, bro, I'm about to just chill out this time. Oh, nah, bro, I'm about to just lay down, go to sleep. I'm not getting up. Nah, brother, I'm doing a lesson, right? You want to be honest, especially if I know I'm laboring with the men of the Lord, right? We all have to be better, right? Let's get verse 5. I'm sorry. I was just getting passionate with explaining that. So verse 5, Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost, and great fear fell on all them that heard these things. The young men arose, wound him up, and carried him out and buried him. And it was about the space of 3 hours after, when his wife, not knowing what was done came in. And Peter answered unto her, Tell me whether ye sold the land for so much. And she said, Yeah, for so much. And then Peter said unto her, How is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord? Oh, nobody in the comment section better say, don't it say in Sirach chapter 25, verse 1, that what Sirach was saying, but it's, it's the words of the Lord, that is beautiful in the eyes of the Lord, right? When the unity of brothers, you love your neighbor, and a husband and wife agrees. No, this is sin, man. Right? You trying to lie to the Rakakwadash. Peter is filled with the Spirit. Right? Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door, and shall carry thee out. Then fell she down straightway at his feet, and yielded up the ghost. And the young men came in and found her dead, and carried her forth and buried her by her husband. Now, when we look at it in our side now, what if the Lord prolonging you to get nuked? What if the Lord prolonging you so that you can, get unalive in the famine? Like I'm talking about famine. What if the Lord prolong you and then in that time you eating your own child? What if the Lord prolonging in some way, somehow, he's going to maneuver you getting that digital RFID charagma put in you, right? What if he might not just make you just drop dead like he did Ananias and his wife? What if he make you at that time take the charagma? What if he put on your spirit to become a whole demon in your household? And then somebody evaluate, I can't do this no more. The Lord have given you to an evil spirit. No, you can't come with me. Telling you, this right here goes into fearing the Lord. So they were bugged out with deceit and greed. They wanted to appear righteous while secretly withholding part of their substance. That same part of fake righteousness is alive today, right? And just being honest, this dude sometimes where we go to eat at this plaza near university, him and his wife, I guess they homeless. So he'll come up and say, look, I don't want no money. I just want food for me and my girl. And of course we say, like, man, damn, man, you got a girl and man, why you don't got no food? So the brother, Sam, he hurried up and give his food. And then the dude walk away. And my food was in the car. I'm not near my car, but it's right behind me. I could have just walked over there. Then Yarmayan, he's about to eat his food. He's like, you know what? I can give him this rice because I was thinking I didn't even really want it. He walked and gave it to him. And then while I'm seeing it, I start feeling guilt. And I start thinking in my mind about Matthew 25 and go read it. Like I think later on in the chapter where he's telling, where the disciples is hearing them, when you fed me when I was hungry. You gave me clothes. Right, you gave me drink. They said, man, when was you thirsty? When was you hungry? When was you naked? Well, when? And he said, if you do this unto the little ones, you have done it unto me. So that's what I'm thinking right away. So just like doing this lesson, just like I just said, this can be a double whammy, right? Because I know me, I've been around people that was either using, doing some type of drugs, but I can't make that excuse if a brother said, no, look, I just want food. I don't want no money. In just that one hesitation, even though I might do other things, that just one little moment is gonna be in my head, and it can happen again, right? It might not happen again, but now that I know and I believe in Yahushua, I'm gonna always think of those things, and that was the best way to ask somebody for something. Because usually I'm around somebody saying, hey, well, right at the liquor store, can I get $1? Can I get a quarter? Can I get $2? I need to get something to eat. As soon as I go in the car and pull off, I see them go right in the liquor store. Somebody that asked me for bread and then I'm going to the store, and while I'm slowly going to the window, I see him hitting a crack pipe right in front of my eyes. So it's like my kind of more in a guilt way, right? And then I see some of the apostles when somebody come across and they give. So it's like, I don't want to be a hypocrite in this thing, So Lord willing, whatever, any situation you had, you look at that Acts chapter 5, verse 1, especially for those in the truth, you could be bumping against one of the elect, a spirit that's truly dealing with them, right? You don't want to be caught doing that, let alone the things that you do for those that the Lord, like what he said, entertain a stranger, because you could probably be entertaining an angel, So always take heed, Lord willing. So let's get this. We almost done, family. I'm going to try not to hold y'all too long. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 and 5. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Terrible times, worse times, dangerous times. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And this is even more why, coming in this faith, you want to be on your children, right? Because one of their laws is to honor their mother and father. And if your children dwelling in your house, they shall honor you. That's why we can't be friends with our children, right? Yes, you have lovey moments, but if your daughter is not, like if you busy and absorbing her siblings, but saying that's my sister, if you busy or you sick or you on your flower and your daughter don't have the ability to learn or know how to cook something, but she know how to get on a dang phone, right? You want to look at yourself that you should be teaching your child a certain way, right? In all aspects, especially a daughter and a son, so that when you down out in account, you have somebody that got your back, somebody that's gonna actually feed you, somebody that's gonna give you a drink, somebody that you get to look at. Yo, I taught them, so okay, I'm doing a good job, right? So at the end of the day, if your child go, do a little left, you'll understand and go into being disobedient to the parents, right? I just wanted to say that. Unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. And pleasures can be the video game, like we playing this all the dang time. The Shabbat come, you doing it like, we got to have that same energy when it comes to that, when it comes to if you're working, if you're traveling, a business that you have, a talent that you have, unless it's pertaining to the ministry or for the brethren. But we don't want to put the pleasures, of this world over Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away, right? And it's a lot of people that can come in this truth that have a form of godliness. That's the same as the devil comes as a light, So you want to be true in this thing. I want to be true in this thing, Lord willing, we can add in our prayers that the elect and the believers that's in this thing and coming in this thing, that they can be serious, sincere, and true to this, right? And not faking it, not being an imposter, right? Because they can trip up one of the little ones, right? So Paul warns this same rebellious spirit will increase in the last days. Pride and confusion and false appearance of ungodliness. So what did it say in the end of verse 5? For such turn away, right? It's going to get worse, right? Don't think, it's going to be good. No, it's going to get worse. Buckle up. Prepare for impact. Right? This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and 5. For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter. Right? Wisdom is not going to enter a malicious soul, nor dwell in the body that is subject into sin, like willfully just sinning. For the rakakwadash of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when a righteous cometh in. Right? This is why when you go to Matthew 12:43-45, when that person had an empty vessel, that's why that spirit was able to come back in and come with 7 more seducing spirits, right? So the bug out spirit begins when wisdom departs. See? And that's what happened to Saul. When a man becomes malicious or self-willed, wisdom leaves and confusion fills the void. That's why in Wisdom of Solomon 7, it tells you that wisdom will not go into a defiled soul. This is another reason why we repent. This is why we're trying to be cleansed all the time by the word, but not just, I heard the word and I'm good. No, you want to be cleansed by you hear it and you meditate on it. And even more, if it really was hitting, you should be always searching those same precepts to see if it was so, right? And if you like that verse, that should be something you should be meditating on, something that you can remember for yourself, right? For your own, for things that you could be dealing with. If I like a verse and it's really intrigued, I'm starting to see even more when I get to new precepts and something hit, I start to bring them out more on videos or camps or lives, right? Because I was drawn to it, you know? So let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 48. It says, O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For it was thou that sinned. Thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee. Right? We all fall because of Adam. Right? That same rebellious spirit that entered Adam, listening to Eve, disobeying Yahweh, passed down to all mankind. The origin of the bug out nature. And when you go to Sirach, the 25th chapter, because of the woman we die. And Adam was supposed to listen to Yahweh Shem Al Shai, let alone anything, because the fruit was symbolic to wisdom, getting knowledge, right? And him being a man of the Lord, he's supposed to be not trying to absorb knowledge from a freaking woman. And a woman, a true woman of the Lord, would not be trying to come to a man to give him knowledge, right? Truly at all. A woman should be walking in her stature as a woman, right? What scripture is it where a woman was bringing out, oh, this book chapter and that verse? What verse? And if we see it, we know, like Susanna, she thought on the law. Like, if I commit adultery, such and such and such. But every scripture in every book is really written by a man, right? A scribe, right? You don't see Mary breaking down scriptures with Yahushua as a grown man, right? Yahushua at the age of 12 left his father and mother to go answer and ask questions to the doctors of the law. Where did you see Sarah breaking down the law or something that was said? But the thing that was reminded of her, that she laughed. And she said, no, I didn't. But the angel heard her within herself that she did laugh. What woman was breaking down any scripture at all to any, like, where do we see that? But we understand when Paul was going to Corinth or Galatia, men start allowing women in these churches or in these areas where the men of the Lord are having these type of councils, especially when dealing with the law, dealing on the nation and order, unless it's a public thing. But when you go to church where it's men, and then now a woman open up her mouth, it's symbolic to these churches where women can open up their mouth and have a say so, where the pastor have his, the first lady, where she has one Sunday where she's teaching or she talking. A woman's supposed to be silent in the church, where is an Israelite assembly and the word is coming out, but really a church is an Israelite assembly. A woman's supposed to be quiet, and that would show shamefaced. Okay? So Adam should have never listened to any damn thing Eve said, but guess what? It was predestined to happen. And guess what? Men are doing this now. When you go to Ezra's, the 4th chapter, down to 22 to 27, men go out their wits. Men have perished. They have sinned for a woman, right? And it either be that damn taco, them damn tater tots, and that lip and that mouth, how she talk, how she move, and her body. You supposed to, beauty is vain, right? Because it can make you fall into sin. Yes, a man gonna want a woman to be beautiful, right? Yeah, hey, sis, you're attractive, but you don't want it to make you fall into sin. You don't want this to counter your judgment. You don't want that to take away from the order of the house, right? Just because she's soft and nourished and all of that, you don't want that to take away from the discipline. Should I have to tell myself this too? Got to check myself and check the household. We have to do that because we don't want to step in the shoes of Adam. And a real woman of this faith, she wouldn't want, her head to step in the shoes of Adam either. But hey, women have that soft spot within themselves about certain things. So let's get this one. I believe we'll close. This is Sirach chapter 37, verse 27. I said at 26, it says, a wise man shall inherit glory among his people, and his name shall be perpetual. My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. Right? Didn't Solomon, right? When Solomon, in Sirach, he learned under the feet of Solomon. Solomon said he tried all folly to see if it was okay for mankind, if it was okay for us to do it. Right? So what is evil for it? And give not that unto it. We know in Luke, he said, today possess ye your souls. Right? So the natural man without the spirit, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 10 all the way to 14, right? They're not going to be able to discern the things of the spirit, right? Tends towards confusion and rebellion. That's why Yahweh Shema Shai must keep our spirit in check through the word. That's the only way, right? So like when brothers is in their house, when they put in order, it don't matter what a child did. It could be the smallest, right? Don't give your son leeway even for the smallest matter, and even for your daughter, right? If his order need to be, if a woman is of his faith, she'll technically really shut up, right? Because at the end of the day, you stopping the spirit of the Lord using that man to bring discipline in his house, let alone if it comes to you, right? A woman should not be masculine, yelling, raising her voice, right? Because then most of you women, when a man is trying to calm you down or bring wisdom, like especially a man in the world, it's hard, you know. But if you in the truth, say if that man about to go, man, I'm about to move out, then that she got a whole problem. A man of the Lord not dealing with that. Then if he smack you, then the cops come. You know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all, that's for men to do. And then after that, a man don't want to lay with you. Literally, I want to see a whole nother woman's face. You know, this is a true fact. What Michelle did to David, he walked away from me. He said, look, you know what? I am going to dance in front of them women. Because if I do, they going to honor me. Walked away from him. And he was a king. You know? So at the end of the day, like when we read this word, we believe in this word, you're supposed to take the volume of this word and apply it. Every detail, not just one, every detail as much as you can. 7 days in a week, 30 days in a month, so-called 356 days in a year, right? I got one more precept. That bug out spirit, rebellion, instability, jealousy, betrayal, madness has been here since the beginning of time. So we already read and understand that from Cain all the way to Korah, Saul to Judas, and even from Cain all the way to this time, these spirits were cycled through generations, and we're in another generation right now, right? But those grounded in faith, stand fast and unmovable, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58, humility and obedience will overcome. This is how we overcome these things. So this Isaiah 33 and 6. In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Shema Shai is his treasure. So this is your stability, right? Good and bad, whatever you need for yourself, right? A woman need to master herself, right? It's things that we need to master, right? So that we can be that example, right? You know? For the sisters that's in this world, how can, like, because you know it's a brotherhood, and I'm not trying to say sisterhood, but say if you got a sister, your sister's in this faith, and you know, y'all communicate with each other. Why would a sister be in this thing having a jealousy spirit with another sister? Even if y'all all married, or if one is married and two is single, and we saying jealousy about what we have, what the same brothers do, jealousy on what another brother have. We shouldn't have that type of spirit. We're Israelites. Some things that somebody got, you don't got. What David had, all Israel didn't have what he had, right? Angry spirit, that fighting spirit, right? Then you be like, you know what? I'm not gonna be around. Yo, if that's why in the kingdom we're gonna be more loving to each other. But we should be trying to establish that in the spirit today, now. Those that somewhat come in the truth, you know? This is why brothers can say it is some sisters that's in this truth. Yes, they hitting because they might be playing a role. They're not all on a comment board acting. Now, some of the sisters that I might see that be saying extra stuff and dropping precepts, they're not even babes in this thing. Because if you was babes, you would know your role, right? Just give a shalom, this and this and that, or you could just say, hey, beloved, the prophet of the Lord, whoever it is, if you see him as a prophet, that was an edifying lesson. And then you keep it moving and you just share that video. You keep sharing that video. You watch that video. You share that video. You leave it alone. And if a woman got a husband, it's better that you learned under him, you know? But at the end of the day, we got to work on ourselves, men, women, and even children, because shit is about to hit the fan. I don't want a bug out spirit, right? And I don't want that for the elect and the true believers, but you got to want it for yourself too. And it's not only word, it's an action, it's truth. 1 John 3:18. You know, we're actors, so we got to hearse this thing out. So when the fear of Yahweh Shemar Shai dwells in us, that bug out spirit has no place, right? So you have to rebuke that in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So Lord willing, this is edifying, straight to the point. And Lord willing, you could take something from this and apply it within your life. But I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the one true power who always makes it possible. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. Lord willing, the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, that they all continue in sound doctrine and in the same spirit. And shalom to the Akwath, believers of this faith and this truth. Lord willing, y'all all can continue to pursue your lot, being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shemar Shai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not of faith. With that, Abba Ball.